Hi guys, this is Sadiq from Drodwin.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to directly update from Oxygen OS 11 to Oxygen OS 13.1 or 14. So why is there a need to do this task? Well, if you are coming from one custom ROM and if you want to go to other custom ROM, then first and foremost, you'll have to flash the stock firmware in between. So after coming from a custom ROM, you'll first have to go to the stock firmware, and after that, you could flash the custom ROM. However, in case of the OnePlus series, as you might be aware, till OnePlus 9, if you want to go to the stock firmware, you could take two approaches. You could either flash the fastboot ROM or you could flash the OPS firmware using the MSM tool. However, in both these cases, you will be taken back to the Oxygen OS 11 firmware, whereas the custom ROM will require you to be on the latest Oxygen OS 13.1 or the 14 firmware. So one way of doing the update is once you reach the Oxygen OS 11 build, you could then simply install the OTA update one after the other. But that will end up taking quite a lot of time as well as network bandwidth, because you might have to install around 4 to 5 OTA updates to reach from Oxygen OS 11 to Oxygen OS 14. Likewise, most of these updates are 2 to 3 GB in size, so they will take quite a lot of network bandwidth as well. So in this video, I'll show you an easier way through which you could directly update from Oxygen OS 11 to Oxygen OS 13.1 or 14 in just a few clicks. As of now, I'll show you for 13.1 because most of the custom ROM require you to be on the 13.1 firmware itself. So on that note, let's get started. First and foremost, you should obviously be on the Oxygen OS 11 firmware. If you are not on that firmware, then you could flash the fastboot ROM using our link guide and get the job done. So flash the latest Oxygen OS 11 build from here, and once you are on the Oxygen OS 11, your first course of action is to turn off Wi-Fi on your phone. And once you have turned off the Wi-Fi, then you have to go to About Phone and tap on build number 7 times. This will enable developer option. Now go back, then go to System and go to developer option, and now turn off the toggle next to turn off the toggle next to automatic system updates. Once you have done that, you will now have to download and install the Oxygen Updater app from Play Store. So go to Play Store and install this app onto your phone. So let me do that as well. This is the app, so install it. And once you have installed the app, you will now have to enable the Wi-Fi on your phone. So do that as well. You could now enable the Wi-Fi and then launch the app. The app requires Wi-Fi, so it will now verify the device name and the update method. Make sure it's a stable update and your phone name is correct. If that's well and good, just tap on Start App and the app will now be started. And now, as you could see, it's showing us the latest December security patch update on our phone. So just a minute, let me show you once again. So as you could see, it's the latest December patch, the 18th of December, and it's the latest Android Oxygen OS 13.1 build. So just tap on download update and the file will be downloaded. Once that is done, you will get a file something along the following lines. Let me show you. It will be named randomly. So for instance, in our case, the file is this zip file, as you could see. So you will get a file something along the following lines. Once you have got the file, you will now have to do a local install. So again, turn off the Wi-Fi, then go to settings menu, and from here go to System. Now go to System Updates, then tap on the settings icon and select the local upgrade, and now choose the latest Oxygen OS 13.1 update and tap on install now. The file will now start installing and it will take up to around 10 to 15 minutes for the installation to complete. Once the installation is done, I will show you one more step. That step requires you to flash the latest firmware across both the slots. As of now, the update will be installed only in a single slot. So if you now proceed ahead to flash the custom ROM, then you might end up in a soft brick or a boot loop state. So once the installation is done, we will then move ahead and flash this firmware to the inactive slot as well. So let's just wait for the flashing to complete and then we will be back. So guys, as you could see, the installation is now complete. You will now have to tap on the reboot button. So let's do that, and our phone will now reboot into the Oxygen OS 13.1 based on the latest Android 13 build. Do keep in mind that the first boot up will take up some additional time frame. This is completely normal and nothing to worry about. It will now also optimize all the apps and that could also take a few extra seconds. So let's just wait for that to happen. So guys, as you could see, it's currently optimizing app and the process only takes a few seconds. And once that is done, your phone will now automatically boot to the OS. So let's just wait for a few more seconds. With this, our phone has now booted to the latest Oxygen OS 13.1 based on Android 13, as you could see from here as well. So let me show you the build status as well. So let's go to the settings menu, and from here let's go to about device, and you could see it's the latest Oxygen OS 13.1, and you could see the version number as well. It's the latest 13.1.0583EX01. So with this, we are on the latest firmware, but as of now, it's only there on the active slot. The latest firmware is not there in the inactive slot. So if you now go ahead and flash a custom ROM, you might end up in a soft brick or a boot loop state. So to rectify this issue, you will now have to flash this firmware in the inactive slot as well. So for that, what you will have to do is simply use the firmware flasher tool. So let me show you how this could be done. For that, you will have to use a custom recovery like TWRP or OrangeFox. As of this guide, I'll be using the TWRP recovery. But before that, let's first download the firmware zip file for our phone. So go to this link. I will give the link of this guide as well. So in this guide, go to the step 6 and go to this link, and from here you will have to download the firmware for your phone. So in my case, I'm using a OnePlus 8T. So go there and then use the Oxygen OS 13.1 and download the latest firmware. In my case, it's the F69582. Make sure to download the same firmware which correspond to your region. This is the IN India, EU is for European Union, and then NA is for North America. So in my case, I'm using the IN build. So download the firmware from here, and once you have got the firmware, you will have to transfer it onto your phone. So let me do that as well. I already have the firmware file. So this is the firmware. Let's transfer it onto our phone. And it will take only a few seconds for that to happen. And then you could move ahead with the next step. So once you have transferred the firmware onto your phone, you will now have to use a custom recovery to flash this firmware file. So for using a custom recovery, you could either temporarily boot for one-time usage or permanently flash it. In this guide, I'll show you how to temporarily boot. If you want to permanently flash it, then you could refer to my guide and get this job done. It majorly depends on whether your phone has a recovery partition or not. I have listed all the use case scenario. You could refer to this use case scenario. If your phone has a recovery partition, then you could directly use the forward slash recovery.img, wherein recovery.img is the name of the file, TWRP recovery file, and this is the recovery partition. But if your phone does not have a recovery partition, then you will have to flash the recovery file to the boot partition. You could also check whether your phone has a recovery or boot partition using this step in my guide I have shown you. So simply execute this command and it will give you a couple of outputs. Simply open this image. So as you could see, in this case it's showing as recovery A and B, so it has a recovery partition. Likewise, in the second image, when there is no recovery partition, there will be no recovery partition shown here in the dump of the system partition menu or all the partitions menu. So you could verify if your phone has a recovery partition or not and then flash it accordingly. Or the most easiest approach is to simply boot your phone to TWRP for one-time usage. In that case, it's a universal command for all the phones, and that is what I will be using now because I don't want TWRP for permanent usage. I only want the recovery for flashing the firmware, and that's just about it. After that, I'll have to flash a custom ROM, and the custom ROM's recovery will anyhow replace the TWRP recovery. So there is no need to flash the recovery. Let's just boot it. So for that, you will have to get hold of the recovery file for your phone. You may download the same from the official TWRP website or from an unofficial trusted site like XDA Developers. So get hold of the recovery file, and once you have got the recovery, simply transfer the recovery file inside the platform tools folder on your PC. And for the ease of convenience, let me rename it to TWRP, and the complete name becomes TWRP.img. You don't need to download the zip file if you are just doing a temporary boot. On the other hand, if you want to flash it, then you might need a zip file depending on the partition that you are using. You could refer to my guide. Once again, I am saying, But if you just want to boot your phone to TWRP for one-time usage, then you only need the IMG file. So with that said, let's launch the command prompt inside platform tool folder. So type in cmd and hit enter. And first off, we will have to boot our phone to the fastboot mode. So let me first verify the ADB connection. So it's not showing. So let me re-enable debugging mode. So let's re-enable it. So after you have done an update to Android 13.1 or rather Oxygen OS 13.1, you will have to re-enable USB debugging. So tap on build number 7 times, then go back, again go back, then go to additional settings, then go to developer option and enable the toggle next to USB debugging. You will now get a prompt on your phone. So tap on OK, and with this, the debugging is now enabled. You might also get an RSA key prompt. So tap on allow, and with this, debugging is now enabled. Apart from that, there is one more important thing worth keeping in mind, that for flashing this recovery as well as for flashing the firmware, the bootloader also needs to be unlocked. So if you haven't done yet, then we will show you how to unlock the bootloader as well. So for that, simply enable the toggle next to OEM unlocking. You will get a prompt on your phone. Just make sure to tap on OK, and with this, the OEM unlock toggle is enabled. So as of now, both the OEM unlock and USB debugging is enabled. So let's now verify the debugging connection. So type in ADB devices, and as you could see, it's showing our phone. So we could now move ahead with the fastboot mode. So type in ADB reboot bootloader and hit enter, and our phone will now reboot into the fastboot mode, and it will take only a few seconds. So let's just wait for the time frame, and then we'll move ahead with the next step. So it could take only a few seconds. So in my case, as of now, the bootloader is currently locked, so I'll have to unlock it. If it's already unlocked in your case, then you may skip this section and move ahead with the next section. So to unlock the bootloader, simply type in fastboot, flashing, unlock, and hit enter. Then use the volume key to highlight unlock the bootloader and press the power key to confirm. Your phone will now undergo a reset, and it might make the warranty null and void as well. After a reset, your phone will then boot to the OS and the bootloader will be unlocked in a matter of few seconds. So as you could see, it's currently undergoing a wipe. And once the wipe is done, you will have to set up your phone from scratch. If you want, you may do so right now. Or if you are planning to flash a custom ROM, then you might again have to do a format data. So simply you may skip that step. And as of now, let's simply wait for the phone to boot up. It might take up some additional time frame for the first time boot up. So let's just wait. So guys, our phone has booted to the OS. So let me quickly skip the initial setup process and take you to the OS, and let's just continue and agree to the terms and condition and hit the next button, and let's skip the Wi-Fi part as well because we don't require the Wi-Fi as of now. So let me skip this as well, and with this our phone should now be ready. And let's select the gesture navigation and set up our phone. So with this, our phone is now ready. Once you have unlocked the bootloader, you will once again have to enable USB debugging on your phone. You might have to do so. So in my case, it's already enabled, as you could see. So I will not have to do so once again. So let me just verify the connection. So it's not showing. So simply unplug and replug your phone to the PC. And your phone should now be visible under ADB devices. So again, if it's not visible, then you will have to select file transfer from here. And once that is done, it should then be visible. So checkmark always allow from this PC. And now your phone should be visible, as you could see. So now let's boot our phone back to the fastboot mode and resume with the flashing of the firmware. So let's use the ADB reboot bootloader command, and our phone will now reboot into the fastboot mode. And this time around, we have the unlock bootloader. So we could start off with the flashing process. So let's just wait for a few seconds and our phone will boot into the fastboot mode. So as you could see, now we are showing as unlocked. So the bootloader is unlocked and we could now move ahead. So our next course of action is to temporarily boot our phone to the TWRP recovery. For that, type in fastboot boot and the name of the recovery file, which is twrp.img, and hit enter. And your phone will now reboot into the TWRP recovery. I am again repeating, this is just for the one-time usage. Upon the next reboot, the recovery will be replaced by the stock recovery. If you want to flash the recovery file, then you may use either of the two commands depending on whether your phone has a recovery or the boot partition. You may also refer to my guide for the same. I have made a separate guide. You could refer to this as well. So with that said, we are currently in the recovery mode and we could now move ahead and flash the firmware. So in my case, since I have unlocked the bootloader, the recovery file has been removed from my phone because it has undergone a factory reset. So let me transfer the file once again. It will take only a few seconds. So let's do the transfer. And if you are unable to see your phone in the DWRP mode, then you may also use the ADB push command to get this job done. Anyways, let's now move ahead and flash the firmware. So go to install and select the firmware zip file and do a right swipe to flash it. The flashing will now start. First off, it will show you the information of the firmware. You could verify the same if it's correct. Then press the volume up key to select yes. And then it will now ask you if you want to update the modem. Again, press the volume up key to select yes. And it will now start update the modem and flash the rest of the file across both the slots. It will only take a few seconds, and as you could see, the flashing is now done. And as you could see, it has now flashed the Oxygen OS 13.1 firmware to both the slots A and B. And this is the most important thing that we required. So once the flashing is done, simply tap on reboot and select system, and your phone will now reboot to the Oxygen OS 13.1. But this time around, we have the latest firmware across both the active and the inactive slot. So you could now easily flash the custom ROM without any issue as such. So with that said, let's just recall what we did. So first and foremost, you will have to be on the latest Oxygen OS 11 build. For that, you could either use the fastboot ROM or the MSM tool. Once you are on the Oxygen OS 11, you will have to download the Oxygen Updater app. And once you have got this app, you will then have to download the latest Oxygen OS 13.1 build. As soon as you install and launch the app, it will automatically show you the latest update. So download the update and it will then be placed on your phone. It will be in a zip file. So after that, you will have to go to settings, system update, and choose local upgrade. Then select the update zip file and it will then be installed. Once that is done, hit the reboot button. And upon that, the latest Oxygen OS 13.1 will be installed in the active slot. But we will also have to now flash it to the inactive slot. For that, we will have to unlock the bootloader. So do so, and after that, you will then have to flash the firmware. So once you have unlocked the bootloader, you will then have to download the firmware file and send the file onto your phone. Then either install a custom recovery or temporarily boot your phone to the recovery via the fastboot boot command. Then from the recovery, simply flash the firmware zip file. And with this, your task stands complete. The firmware is now in both the slots, and you are now good to go ahead and flash any custom ROM of your choice. So guys, on that note, I round up this video. If you have any queries, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.